What's up? How are you guys doing? First of all, I want to apologize for not posting for almost 3 weeks. I'm so sorry, guys. I know I'm supposed to be posting every week, but I have an exam coming up, a professional exam that I have to study for, and I really have to focus on that aspect of my life. So I won't be posting videos as regularly as I'm supposed to. So I hope you guys forgive me for that and just bear with me for now. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a jumpsuit. It's a, well, I think it's a statement piece kind of jumpsuit because it's very unique, very chic and stylish. I love it and it's very easy. So you guys shouldn't have a problem, working on that. If you ever made pants before, then obviously it's going to be easy, trust me, like very easy. When I first wanted to make this jumpsuit, I was going to make a dress with the same style, but I changed my mind because I came up with a better idea for the dress. I'm going to be posting a video of the dress tutorial very soon. I don't want to make promises on any dates because I don't want to disappoint you guys again. You guys should beware. I actually made a couple of references to the dress when I was making the jumpsuit because at that time I had in mind to make a matching dress with the same style, obviously. So I don't want to confuse you guys, so if I make any references to the dress in the video, you guys should just pretend it's the jumpsuit, okay? So when I first wore the dress, I didn't really like the way it looked. It looked kind of not the dress, sorry. When I first wore the jumpsuit, I didn't like the way it looked. It kind of looked incomplete, and yeah, I didn't like the way it looked. So fortunately for me, I have a belt made out of the same Ankara fabric that I used to make the jumpsuit. I borrowed the belt and it looked amazing on the jumpsuit. It looked complete and beautiful. I didn't make the belt specifically for this jumpsuit. I actually made it last fall for one of my clothing collections, my fall clothing collection. So I borrowed the belt and it looks amazing. I'm gonna be showing you guys I'm gonna be showing you guys the pattern for the belt. It's very easy. It's like making a waistband for a skirt, but I attached a what is it called, like a snap at the back of it. It's really easy. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make the belt, how to make the pattern for the belt. I'm not gonna be showing you guys how to make the actual belt, if you know what I mean. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. I hope you guys give this video a thumbs up and you guys subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing if you've already subscribed. And also you guys follow me on social media. You can follow me on Instagram at Hemi Marie. I'm gonna be posting the links below. You can just follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Pinterest, any social media, Twitter. I'm not usually on Twitter, but I'm active on Instagram, mostly Instagram, and sometimes Facebook and Tumblr. So you guys should follow me. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to start out by drafting the pattern for the pants. I'm going to start out with the front of the pants. So this is the pattern for the front of the pants. So I'm first going to draw a vertical line as a guideline. So that's my vertical line. We're just going to use this vertical line as a guideline to mark our own measurement. So take your measurement from your waist to your crotch and mark the measurement plus your seam allowance on your guideline. So the measurement for this miniature pattern is 23 centimeters. I will add 1 centimeter to that number for seam allowance at the top. So I'm going to mark 23 centimeters from the top of our vertical line. Well, it doesn't have to be from the top. It could be anywhere on the vertical line. But I'm just going to make mine at the top right here. So I'm going to measure 23 centimeters right here. Our next step is to measure our inseam, which is the measurement from your crotch to the length of your pants. You'll be adding hem allowance to that measurement. So the inseam for this pattern is 55.5 centimeters. I'm gonna add hem allowance. So 55. I'm gonna measure 55.5 centimeters from this crotch point to. So you guys are gonna draft this pattern on a pattern paper. I'm just gonna use this dry erase board. I don't know what it's called, material. I'm just gonna use this dry erase board to show you guys how I drafted my pattern. So this is not my measurement. This is just, I made up this measurement for this tutorial. So you guys are gonna draft this pattern on a pattern paper, then cut it out and transfer it on your fabric. So you're gonna take your hips measurement, you're gonna divide that number by 4. For this pattern, that number is 30. Then you're gonna further divide that number by 2, giving me 15. I'll add 1 centimeter for seam allowance, which is 16 centimeters. I'm going to draw a horizontal line to the left and right of my crotch point that measures 16 centimeters on each side. So I'm going to measure 16 centimeters on each side of my crotch point. You're now going to take your thigh measurement. You're going to measure your thigh. You're going to take that measurement. And for this pattern, the thigh measurement is 75 centimeters. You're going to divide that number by 2, which is 37.5 centimeters for this pattern. Then you subtract the number we got for our hips measurement divided by 4 from the number we just got for our thigh measurement divided by 2. So I don't want to confuse you guys, but I'm just going to go through it again. So the number I got for my thigh measurement is 37.5, and the number I got for the hips measurement divided by 4 is 30. So 37.5 minus 30 is 7.5. So you want to do that for your own measurement. I'm going to add the difference, which is 7.5. I'm going to add it to the right side of my crotch point. So I'm going to add it to this side. So I'm going to add 7. Oh, by the way, you also want to add ease for your pant. If you think you need ease for your pant, you want to add it to the right side of your pant. I'll just measure 8 to the right side of my pattern. And as for our waist, you're going to take your waist measurement. You're going to divide the number by 4 and add seam allowance on each side. The waist measurement for this pattern is 18 centimeters plus 2 centimeter seam allowance. If you need to add ease to your waist measurement, include that measurement. You can just include it on each side. The waist measurement doesn't really matter. It's just the crotch. And for the bottom of your pant, obviously you will have added hem allowance to the bottom, so you don't want short of fabric. So for the hem allowance, so for the bottom of your pant, you're gonna take the measurement of how wide you want the bottom of your pants to be. And for this pattern, it's going to be 40 centimeters plus 2 centimeters seam allowance. I'm gonna divide that number by 2. Making it 21 centimeters, then draft it on this pattern. You're gonna do that to your own pattern. I'm now gonna connect my crotch and my waist together. By the way, this is a miniature pattern, so obviously it's gonna be smaller, way smaller than what yours is gonna be. I'm gonna connect the left side of my pattern with a French curve ruler. And on the right side, I'm going to connect it like this. So, and as for the remaining part, you just connect it with a ruler. So as you guys can see, I have connected everything together. This is the front pattern of the pant. So I'm gonna go on to the back pattern, which is basically almost the same thing. If you guys don't want to go through the whole process of creating the pattern from scratch, you guys can just trace out a pant that you already have. Just trace it out and I just had some extra inches, extra centimeters for seam allowance. So it's just basically the same thing. I just like to create my patterns from scratch. Okay, so for the back pattern, it's basically going to be the same as the front pattern. The only major difference is I'm going to extend the left part of my pattern. I'm going to extend it by 2 inches. And I'm also going to add zipper allowance. If you're going to be using a stretch fabric, then obviously you don't need a zipper allowance. But since my fabric is non-stretch, I'm gonna add a zipper allowance. So first of all, I'm gonna extend this crotch line by 2 centimeters on the left side. So I'm gonna extend this by 2 inches, not 2 centimeters. Like that. So I extended mine by 2 inches to allow room for my butt. If you have a bigger butt, then you might want to add, I don't know, more. I extended my crotch line by 2 inches to the left. I'm gonna add zipper allowance. I always measure my allowance with centimeters, but if you use inches, just always go for what you use. You don't have to do what I do. This is just a guideline. My tutorials are guidelines. If you can do it better, then just go for it. Okay, so for my zipper allowance, I'm gonna give my zipper allowance 2 centimeters. So 2 centimeters, I'm gonna extend it by 2 more centimeters. And I'm gonna come over to my waist and extend the left part of my waist by 2 centimeters. And I'm just gonna connect it, and that's the major difference. So obviously you guys have to first trace out the front pattern on a new pattern paper, then add the zipper allowance and the 2 inches for the butt. So you're just gonna connect like so with your front curve. If you don't have a front curve, you can try to use your hand. You can freestyle, but I don't know how to freestyle, so I'm just gonna do this. Okay guys, so sorry I mistakenly connected the line, the dot from here instead of here, but I've just made the correction. So I'm gonna start out by connecting my crotch line and my waist line from obviously this one, not this one, because we want to include our zipper allowance. So I just made that correction. So you're gonna connect it, and you're also gonna connect this to the bottom of your pant. I'm gonna draft the pattern for the top of the jumpsuit. I'm gonna start out by drawing a vertical line, then measures from my shoulder to my waist plus seam allowance at the top and bottom. So you're gonna take your measurement. So the measurement for this pattern is gonna be 39 centimeters plus seam allowance. So at the top is your shoulder and the bottom is gonna be your waist. So you're gonna take the measurement for your shoulder and divide it by 2. The measurement I got for this pattern is 17 centimeters, and you're gonna have your seam allowance. I'm gonna have 2 centimeters seam allowance for this pattern. I'm gonna draft it. So you're gonna draft it at the very top of your pattern. You are now gonna take the measurement for your neck and divide it by 4. For this pattern, the neck measurement is going to be 25 centimeters. Divided by 4 is 6.25. So we're going to mark I got 6.25. You're going to mark whatever number you got to the left of your shoulder line. So I'm just going to mark it here. If you want to show more cleavage, then you can just extend it further. So for our waist, you're going to divide your waist measurement by 4 and add seam allowance. then draft it on the bottom. You're gonna draft it at the bottom of your pattern. So what we're gonna do now is to connect this point to the very edge of our waistline. So this is the front pattern. So I'm gonna measure, you're gonna measure your ham side depth. For this pattern, it's gonna be right here. I'm not gonna measure it, I'm just gonna make it right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it right here. Okay, so from this point, you guys can measure however wide you want your shoulder line to be. I'm just gonna make mine maybe 2 inches. And I'll assume that's 2 inches right there. So remember, this pattern is just a miniature pattern. It's not my original measurement. So I'm not being precise. So I'm gonna connect that to this, to my arm side depth with my French curve ruler. So this is the front pattern. Well, this could be your front and back pattern. It doesn't matter. But for my back pattern, I wanted a little bit of curve. Okay, so this is gonna be my front pattern. For my back pattern, it's basically gonna be the same thing. The only difference that I did was to, instead of making it straight, instead of drawing a straight line, I did a little bit of curve. Like when I was joining the points together, I created a little bit of curve, like just like that, and just do it. I don't want to confuse you guys, but I'm sure you guys understand what I mean. Okay, so that was what my back pattern looked like. So it's like that instead of just straight. So the front is gonna be a straight line, but the back is gonna be curved. That was how I wanted mine to be. But you guys can make it the same. You can make yours straight, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna make a major difference. That was how I wanted the look to be. So when you're cutting out your pattern, you're gonna cut out, obviously, this point that I'm marking for the front pattern. Yeah, these are the points you're gonna cut out. And for the back pattern, obviously you're gonna cut out that. And it's gonna be backless, so you don't need a zipper for the back of the top. You're gonna need a zipper for the bottom, like for the pants. The back of the pants, you're gonna need a zipper for that one. So for the front pattern, you're gonna cut out 2 pieces, and for the back pattern, you're gonna cut out 2 pieces also. Also for the pants, you're gonna cut out 2 pieces for the front and 2 pieces for the back. So that's basically it for this pattern. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to maybe make a comment in the comment section below, or you guys can message me on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, if you run into any problems. Okay guys, so when I first created this jumpsuit, I never had an intention to create a belt with it, but when I wore the jumpsuit, I didn't like how it looked without a belt. So I just used a belt that I already had. I made a belt with that same fabric that I used for this pattern. So I borrowed it and it looked amazing. I loved the way it turned out. It looked way better with the belt. So I'm going to show you guys how I made the belt, because I made the belt a long time ago. Well, it's not so long ago. I think I made it last year, sometime last year, like last fall. So I'm going to show you guys how I made the belt. I'm just going to show you the pattern and I'll run through how to make it with you. It's very easy. It's just like making a waistband but with a snap at the back. You guys can also use elastic for the back, but I just prefer a snap. Okay, so what I basically did was I took the measurement for my waist and I added 4 centimeters. So this is what the belt looks like. It's like a waistband. It's just basically a rectangle, a long rectangle. I'm sure you'll be able to make it without my instructions. So that's what it looks like at the back. Okay, so what you're gonna do if you don't know how to make this is just measure your waist. Take your waist measurement. You're gonna allow like seam allowance for the two sides. So add 2 centimeters for the seam allowance. You're gonna have 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter for this side and the other centimeter for the other side. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. 1 centimeter for one side and 1 centimeter for the other side. So you're gonna add, I added 4 additional centimeters. Well, it wasn't up to 4, but let's just assume it's 4. Okay. So the additional 4 centimeters that I added is so I can overlap my waistband for the to close and open my snap like that, because you need to overlap it. So that's what the 4 centimeter is for. So that's basically the width of my waistband, of my belt. And for the length can be any length you want. Mine is, let me see, mine is about 8 I'll just say 8 centimeters. Yeah, mine is 8 centimeters. You're gonna add some seam allowance to sew it together. And I added a medium weight interfacing, so it's sturdy like that. I can't remember if it's a lightweight or a medium weight interfacing, but I don't want to work. So that's basically what and you just had your snaps. I got my snap from my Fabricland. It's a sewing or fabric store that is just in my area. You guys can get that. You can get it online anywhere. Just Google it. So that's basically what I did, and I added my snaps. If you don't know how to add snaps, just YouTube or Google how to add snaps. I'm not gonna go through that in this video. So it's very easy, guys. Trust me. It's just like making a waistband, but with a snap. So you guys just give it a shot. It's very easy, and I hope you guys find this video to be very helpful. So I laid the front pattern down on the table. I'm now gonna pin the back pattern to the front pattern. So this is the back pattern. I'm gonna start out by sewing my pockets together. So I've pinned my first pocket like so. I'm gonna sew it together for my skirt and for my pants. So I have serged my pockets together like so. I'm gonna start out with the pants, then I'll move on to the skirt. So what I'm gonna do is measure 18 centimeters down from the top, which is where my pocket is gonna start. My pocket is gonna start right here. So you want to measure wherever you want your pockets to start on your body. I wanted mine to be 18 centimeters from my waist, which is here. So I'm gonna measure 18 centimeters down. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is use my tailor's chalk to mark the width of the mouth of my pocket. So it's gonna be from here to right here, like so. So I'm gonna remove my pin between those dotted lines that I made. I'm gonna serge from here to here and from here to here. So this part will be opened for our pocket. So I'm gonna do that for the 2 legs. I'm gonna demonstrate how to attach the pocket to the main skirt and pants. I'm gonna do the demonstration on the skirt. You guys can apply it to the pants. I'm gonna turn my pocket inside out like this. So this is the right side of my pocket, and this is the wrong side of my skirt. So I'm gonna open this like so and put this right inside the opening of the skirt like that. So this is the front side. I mean, this is the right side and this is the wrong side of the fabric. I'm just gonna pin this in place. So that's basically how to attach the pockets. I'm gonna start with the edges. I'll pin this around and take it to my serger and serge. Or you can just use the sewing machine if you don't have a serger. So that's basically how you're also gonna do it for the pants. Okay, so what I did was to turn one leg of the pants inside out. So this is the wrong side of the fabric. And for the second leg, I turned it right side out. This is the right side of the fabric. I'm also going to make sure that the front of the pants is facing me and the back of the pants is it's on the table. I'm going to put the leg of the fabric that is right side out. I'm going to put it inside this one. So I put the leg that is right side out. I put it inside the one that is wrong side out. So I'm left with just one piece. What I'm going to do now is sew the front of the pants together. This is the front of my pants. I'm going to pin it and sew it. So I'm going to sew it from the crotch, which is right at the middle, to the waist. So I'm going to sew the right side of my front piece and the right side of my back piece together. Like that. I'm going to place it on top of each other. So I'm going to sew the sides together, and I'll sew the shoulder together. So this is what my pants look like after I've sewn the front portion of the pants together. So the back part is opened like so. I'm going to attach my top to the pants. I'm going to start with one. So you guys should have separate pieces of your top, the left and the right. So what I've done here is to pin the top to my pants. So this is the left and right portion of my top. I've pinned it to my pants right sides together, like so. So this is the front of my pants, and this is the back. So all you're gonna do is just pin the top to the pants. So what I did here is I pinned two of the pieces together, right sides together, and I placed my interfacing on the top like so. So I have two on the bottom, right sides together, then my interfacing. I'm gonna sew this together and I'll be right back. So I've stitched the pieces together. I'm gonna turn it inside out. I'm gonna turn it inside out in such a way that my interfacing is in the middle. I'm gonna demonstrate how I attached it with the second lapel. Okay, so first of all, you guys want to fold your lapel in half, like so, and make sure you make a crease right in the middle. Okay, right in the middle. Okay, so you now want to align this crease that we've made, the middle of the lapel. You want to align it with the shoulder, like the shoulder seam. So I'm just going to put that there. Then I'm going to pin. I'm going to pin it from the center down to wherever the seam stops, because I want some of the lapel to hang out like so. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. So at the point where my seam ends, which is right before my zipper, right before my zipper, I'm gonna make a snip on the lapel like so. I'm gonna do the same for the other end of the lapel. So this is the point where I attached the top of my jumpsuit to the bottom. So it's just this seam right here. to attach the top and the bottom. So after I made the 2 snips at the 2 ends of the lapel, I unpinned the lapel from the jumpsuit. Then I turned the lapel inside out. Then right where I made the snip, I'm gonna take it to my sewing machine and sew from the edge right to this point where I made the snip. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. Then I'll be right back. I've sewn the part that I told you guys about. I've sewn it. Like that. So I'm going to turn it back inside out, so the right side is on the outside. Then after that, I'm going to attach it back to my jumpsuit. Then I'll sew it back on my jumpsuit.